This is about creating the foundation to give their own people the ability to change the way that they work.
Martin, welcome. Martin, when it comes to agentic AI, what's still hype? What's real?
There is a lot of hype in the market. I think there always is. In many cases, people who were once experts in metaverse did a find replace for AI and now a find replace for agentic. So there is a lot of hyperbole out there for that reason. However, it is real. Agentic AI is real. And I like to equate agentic AI with sovereignty. But sovereignty equals agency. And that's very important because that is much more than just we need a data center in every country in the world. That's not sovereign AI. And we see this agency in 3 levels. You want to give sovereignty agency to the individual to change the way they work, to have agency over their work, to save time with technology rather than waste time with technology. They need access to all of their data sets, all of the tools they use, even if they're in 17 different systems, to enable them to be more productive and be more effective and add more value. That's individual sovereignty or agency. The second is at the enterprise level or the agency ministry level, where an enterprise or an agency needs their own sovereignty and agency. They need access to their data. They need the ability to create capabilities that are unique to them, that give them an advantage over their competitors, gives them alpha, and is not generic and standard off-the-shelf capabilities. And the third is certainly at the national level, where sovereignty and agency means not just the data stays there, but you have control over the technology, you have autonomy. But it's really all 3 of those levels, not just the hyperbolic cry for sovereign AI, meaning we all need data centers. This is about all 3 levels of that agency.
I want to focus in on customer experience. For telcos, what does agent-driven customer experience actually look like?
Well, I think there are three levels of transformation that telcos can really impact. And even before their own customer experience, we often talk with leading telcos and have a meeting of the minds that they must be customer zero. They need to be customer zero, meaning they need to transform how they do things internally. Their knowledge workers, their engineers, through agentic AI. One example of that is STC, which now has deployed the capabilities of Cohere's North platform in their own data environment, hooked up to their data sources, hooked up to their tools very securely. And they now have 5,500 people who have themselves created 7,500 agents. So it's not about a list of one by one, let's make an agent because someone in a room thought of it or the IT department. This is about creating the foundation to give their own people the ability to change the way that they work. By doing that, they then can much more effectively think about how to change the customer experience for their own customers. And then third, how they can take that to enterprises and public sector customers and help them transform their own businesses because they've done it themselves. They know what it's like as a user. They know what it's like to transform not processes, but really focus on the ideal outcome by using agents to completely change how they work.
If agentic AI fulfills its promise, how different do you think telecoms will be in 5 years? If we're sitting here in 5 years' time, what are you telling me?
Being optimistic, I think if telcos can be ambitious, if the leadership of telcos can say, we need to be the agents of change here and lead out in front, I think they could be in the middle of this transformation. I do believe that the telcos, because they are national champions, they have every consumer as a customer, they have every enterprise as a customer, they have trust. They have trust from the government, from the regulators, from their customers. They have all of the license to be the agents of change here. And so I believe with companies like STC, Bell, two companies that Cohere works very closely with, they can not only transform their own businesses, the experience of their own customers, but they can then take this as trusted partners to say, we can provide sovereign agentic AI solutions. So I think in 5 years, ideally, we'd have the telcos being the key agents of change, the key enablers for the public sector, for consumers and society, and for enterprise to transform and embrace this disruptive and transformational technology.
Martin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.